Are we ready to get this party started? Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here this evening. We're here to celebrate 10 amazing years of Dogs Matter, helping keeping pets with their people, their humans. I am Leslie Sands. I'm the executive director and founder of Dallas Pets Alive. And it is an honor to be here tonight. So just a little backstory, because I think people might get confused as to what DPA and Dogs Matter are doing together. So we started collaborating many, many years ago through our PASS program at Dallas Pets Alive, so our Positive Alternatives to Shelter Surrender program. We were getting a lot of inquiries for people that were wanting to go to rehab that just didn't know what to do with their animal. So I did a quick Google search, and I found Stephen, and I found Dogs Matter. And we started connecting and collaborating, and we would go to coffee, and we really started learning about each other's mission and our vision, and we were just really aligned, really aligned. We immediately knew that this partnership could be so much more if we really, truly partnered and collaborated on a whole new level. So Stephen trusted myself and DPA with his baby, and we merged a year and a half ago. So Dogs Matter is underneath the DPA umbrella, and honestly, it was probably the best move we could have ever made together. We've saved, yes, that deserves a lot of applause. It's true collaboration. We have saved so many more lives together. DPA has become stronger. We get to see the human side of what we do in a very different way. We've learned so much from Stephen and his team. And we're just saving a lot more lives, and it's just a beautiful journey. And we have so many more things planned, lots of big plans, a big future, and I'm honored to be on this journey with you, Stephen. We're gonna celebrate so many things. We're gonna celebrate tales and triumphs, and I know I'm gonna cry. There's gonna be tears this evening, I guarantee. But I want to introduce the person that is going to be taking us through this journey this evening. He is an actor and director with a career in stage, film, and television. He won the 2011 Tony Award for Best Performance in The Normal Heart and has been nominated for 2 Emmys, and most importantly, he is a longtime friend of Stephen. And we're thrilled that he's here to help us celebrate this evening. Please welcome John Benjamin Hickey.
Hello. Hi. Just an unbelievable joy and honor to be here tonight with my college roommate and my longtime friend of 42 years. And to, celebrate and support and be inspired by such an amazing organization. I said to a few of us out there tonight, like, in a country where nobody can agree on anything, this is like a noun we can all agree on. Dogs matter, and their humans matter, and those lives matter, and that bond. So it's just such a thrill to be here. And speaking of old friends, there's a good old friend of mine, I've known him almost as long as I've known Stephen, who wanted to say hello because he loves this organization so much.
Congratulations to Dogs Matter Stephen Knight on 10 years of being a beacon of compassion, second chances, and the healing of the human-animal bond. Your impact is undeniable, transforming lives and keeping families together through kindness, connection, and hope. Here's to 10 incredible years and countless tales of triumphs to come. Cheers.
We'll be voting on whether that was a mocktail or not that he was drinking later in the winners. Through one powerful act of kindness, Dogs Matter was sparked into existence. Early in Stephen's sobriety journey, adopting Jade didn't just save her life, it helped save Stephen's. She became a cornerstone in his recovery, giving him purpose, giving him accountability, here, That bond inspired a mission to ensure no one has to choose between going to treatment and keeping their beloved pet. From fostering just 20 dogs in the first year, we're proud to share with you tonight that Dogs Matter has now served over 2,000 pets and their humans. Unbelievable. In 2016, Dogs Matter earned first place out of more than 100 entries in Spark Tank, the nonprofit version of Shark Tank, for the most innovative, thank you, Woodson, social challenge program. That recognition opened doors, helping them grow and gain national attention. And in 2021, Stephen and Jade appeared on the Kelly Clarkson Show. Jade has been on more talk shows than I have. I'm starting to get a little bitter. He was honored as a rad human, which he very much is, for his work with Dogs Matter, and was awarded $10,000 and a van from Car Lots, further fueling his mission. In 2022, Dogs Matter launched a game-changing partnership with Dallas Pets Alive, Leslie, allowing Dogs Matter to focus more deeply on the human side of recovery while DPA supported the pets. This partnership was so successful that in 2024, they officially merged with DPA, gaining the infrastructure and support needed to take Dogs Matter to the next level of impact and sustainability. And then the honor of a lifetime, bigger than an Emmy, bigger than an Oscar, almost bigger than a Tony Award. So much bigger. Stephen was named CNN Hero of the Year, chosen from thousands of nominations worldwide. It was mind-blowing to see your old friend who you love so much get that honor, so richly deserved. This recognition is a springboard, not just to go national, but to dream even bigger. One day, Dogs Matter could have a presence across our globe. Because life is best when we dream big, and even better when there's a dog by your side. So please, everyone, help me welcome Stephen Knight and Jade. Okay.
Those two things are critical in recovery. And if a dog can help do that, then you have a better chance of staying sober. From 34 to 51, almost daily, I was a Christian addict, growing up gay in the 70s and 80s. I had opportunities in my life. I couldn't stand the pain of that anymore. That's the pain that critical addict took over. I got to the point where it destroyed my life. I've been homeless, contracted HIV because of my addiction. And it was one of those, I'm either going to die or I'm going to do something about it. And I made a great decision to go into treatment. After I'd been in treatment, about 8 months sober, I was struggling. One night I had a knock on the door. A friend of mine had relapsed, and she had this beautiful dog back here. She said, Stephen, I need to go back to treatment. My family won't talk to me. I need you to take me down to the shelter so I can surrender Jade because I had nowhere to put her. The look in Jade's eye, and there's a connection that happened. And I thought, no, we're not taking her to the shelter. There's no way. I'll see how I do with her. And that instant moment was kind of life-changing in a way. Really, I had to walk her, and I had to feed her, and I just couldn't lay in bed and feel sorry for myself. That was almost 14 years ago. I stayed sober 6. She gave me that purpose. And then I started thinking, how horrible that somebody has to go into treatment and have nowhere to put the pet, and one of the only options are when they're in the shelter where the likelihood that I'll be euthanized. So I thought, well, maybe I'll look into see what's out there, and I'll volunteer and help maybe do some boss fight. You know, being into writing, start giving back and helping others. Thought I was just me in my backyard, saving friends and family to take a dog. The first year we did about 15 dogs or so, and it just kind of organically grew. We just hit 1,700 dogs. So many people have given up on themselves after the age of 50 in the cities who are going to die. I've been there, so I know that it's never too late to change your life.
I knew that my drinking had gotten out of control, and I needed desperately to go into treatment. And I thought, well, yeah, what do I do with Winston? I miss my boy. So I did a temporary surrender, knowing that he was in a good place. It gave me a tremendous amount of just peace of mind. I didn't have to worry about him while I took care of myself.
I don't want to just give their dog back and have them go away. I want to be a safety net because I know the first year survival is the toughest. We're finding that people that keep their dog and have us do that support system have about a 70% chance of ending in the first year, where actually I think the national rate is more like 35 or 40, that's part of being generous. And in the 12 months, 70% of our people are sober, working, and most of them become self-sufficient. Sometimes we cannot save the client. Those are going to be cases where addiction wins, but we can always save the dog. So when they aren't able to be reunited, that dog will be up for adoption and find the best home for us to have. Cats matter too. So we get cats now, and another animal, or something else. We consider that guy. I'm going to be able to have a program like Dog Patch so that we have to see the need is everywhere. I get the most joy out of waking up in the morning, first of all, having this be a part of my life, and then to be able to wake up and say, I get to help another addict today, and I get to help their dog. Good energy.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that a drink or a drug that can give you that feeling when you know you're exactly where you're supposed to be and you have purpose? And that's where my life is right now.
Jade, please bring Stephen Knight up to the stage.
Hi. I know I'm going to get emotional, so I'm just going to tell you right now that it's going to be okay, because in sobriety we get to feel our feelings and not have to numb them, and we don't feel ashamed about it. So that's what we do in recovery, right? Yeah. I just want to take a moment and say thank you from the deepest part of my heart. So many incredible blessings have happened through Dogs Matter, but to stand here tonight with Jade by my side, the very reason why I started Dogs Matter, it means everything. And to look out in the audience and see so many people that mean so many personal to me, and so many bringing the recovery community and the animal service community together, that's what community is all about. And together, we save lives, and I'm just completely overwhelmed looking out there and seeing all of my loved ones, fosters, and friends, so thank you for being here. So I do have some thank yous to do. I want to begin by thanking the people who brought this night to life, the incredible event committee, to our event chair, Susie Escalante. Can you come up, Susie? We'll get some flowers for you. Because this event was made out of love and your vision and your unwavering dedication. This is for the whole committee. We put this thing together in a very short amount of time, and this night would not be possible without this committee, so I thank the whole event committee. Now, yeah, can you hold Jake for me? Yeah. My arms are getting a little bit sore. She had a little bit too much dinner. All right, so we're going to thank our sponsors, and our sponsors are so special to us. And the first one I need to thank is the Burning Tree programs, and especially David Elliott. I appreciate, if you ever are serious about getting sober, Burning Tree is the place to go. They have an amazing programs, they're extensive, and they're true what sobriety is all about. And I appreciate you, David Elliott. You've been there from the beginning, and you know, you've allowed us to create more outreach and save more dogs. You're always on my gratitude list. Thank you, David. To Bryn Lee and Ben Lee from the Dave Perry Miller Real Estate. Said that well, okay. I'm so glad you found us. I mean, when you had your little donation drive and came and all these amazing supplies for our dogs, but I know this is a very special mission for you, and I'm so glad you're part of the Dogs Matter family. So thank you for your sponsorship. Yorgie and Destination Pets. Destination Pets, I was lucky enough through Dallas Pets Alive, I got to speak with them at their convention, and we all just fell in love with each other. And they fell in love with Jade, so now we're partners, and they're a sponsor tonight. I can't wait to see what the future holds for us. So thank you. Recovery Unplugged behavioral health. Yeah, in the house. Thank you guys. We just started a partnership with them. I can't wait to save more lives with you guys. I love what you do, and welcome to the Dogs Matter family. Hollywood Feed, the Butterfly Way Sober Living is here, their sponsor. Yes, amazing group of women that know how to stay sober. The Haven, Dave Mishmeyer, thank you. You're a good person. The Meadows, Hey Love Studios, Hey Love. And the Beyond the Bar are mocktails tonight. Very good. I'm always up for a good mocktail. City Dog Club, one of our sponsors, thank you. They are an amazing new partnership that we have. You're going to hear more about them tonight. I'm so glad that we found each other, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. And also PetSmart, Greenhouse Treatment Center, Mod Tub, Embrace the Cold. Valerie, you're an amazing foster, thank you. Cinecor, Well Beyond Recovery, Crown Exteriors and Construction, thank you. Those are our sponsors. All right. And also, I want to thank the amazing artists. As you guys see the artwork and the portraits of the stories out in the lobby. You'll hear them tonight. I want to thank the artists and the musicians that came tonight and created this amazing atmosphere. So thank you guys. All right, now, I know that I get a lot of recognition for the work at Dogs Matter, but please know it takes a village. And I'm just lucky to lead this incredible team of people who care so deeply and give their whole hearts. And it's the Dogs Matter staff. Angela Grillo, you're my rock. Amy Stow, Shristi Meyer, and Shauna Perry are our recovery coaches, and they're in the trenches saving lives every day. Thank you for your passion, your grace, and your fight. You are the soul behind every success story. All right, to Dallas Pets Alive, to the family of Dallas Pets Alive, with Leslie and Sarah, Janae, Jillian, Noni, and Pat. Especially I have to do a big shout out to Pat Robbins. You did an amazing job. Your heart is so big. Your commitment and dedication to our missions are amazing. And the rest of the DPA staff and volunteers, we couldn't be here without you guys tonight. I'm so glad we're on this journey together. Very special thank you to the DPA Board of Directors for saying yes to the merger and helping Dogs Matter step into the next chapter. I have to give a special shout out to Kevin Kirksey, the former chairman of the board at Dallas Pets Alive. And he reached out with Leslie in 2021 to begin this conversation that brought Dogs Matter to the DPA family. I think you guys made a good call. Yeah. And tonight is even more special because when I started this organization, I was basically asking my friends and family to be on my board. I was like, come on, I just gotta sign this paperwork, sign here, you're a board member. And some of them are here tonight, and I'm so grateful for them here. Ron Brady, our original chair, is here tonight. You've been here from the beginning. Thank you. August Knight, my nephew, you've always been there when I needed you. Ben O'Brien, my nephew-in-law. I'm telling you, to my family and friends. And Paul Boucher, I love you. We met in rehab 14 years ago. And Andrea Gonzalez, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you so much. Thank you for helping. Thank you for helping build the foundation that we stand on. You believed in this mission when it was still just an idea and a dream, and here we are. I also want to thank my family that's here tonight. Thank you for supporting me, for giving me a second chance in our lives. I love you guys. I'm so glad we're together. Okay, now, the biggest thank you of the night is going to go to our foster families. Yeah. Our foster families are the lifeline of Dogs Matter. You're the reason why we can say yes when somebody needs and calls for help. You create safety, healing, and hope, not just for dogs, but for the people who love them. If you've ever fostered for Dogs Matter, I want you to stand up. Please stand up. If you ever fostered for Dogs Matter, yes. Thank you for saving lives, and we're forever grateful for your hearts and your homes. And a special thank you for our 2024 Foster of the Year, Lisa Farrell, who's here tonight. And lastly, my last thank you goes to this guy right behind me, John Benjamin Hickey. You're one of my dearest friends for 40 years.
42.
42. There's a picture of us. I think we have a picture of us in college here. So on the left, I think John was about 19. I was like 21. John looks 12.
It was 1921.
I look 45.
It was the year 1921.
And then there's other pictures. A picture of about 3 years ago, I went to New York and saw John at a show. Thank you, John. Thank you for never giving up on me, for loving me unconditionally. You see me at my worst, and now you're seeing me at my best. And I thank you for that. So I'm going to sit down and probably cry some more. But I just want to say thank you for everybody showing up tonight, for caring, for believing in second chances, for people and their pets. So for Jade and I, we say thank you. Oh, and John, I have a rose for you. Will you take my rose?
Yellow rose. Thank you, Dave. Thank you.
Let's get rid of that picture.
Unless there's a cosmetician in the house who wants to donate some fillers. Wow. Tonight is about storytelling, and we're going to hear so many amazing, amazing stories. All of our storytellers have the opportunity to work with an internationally renowned spoken word artist, a published poet, a mental health advocate, and social worker, Michael Gwynn. Michael, come on up here and kick us off.
One more time for John. Get it for John, everybody. That's right. All right, I am a full-time social worker, but we all have a story. I wasn't always a social worker. I went from Goodwill to Temu, y'all. Look at that, you see it. But I digress. I want to first say thank you to Stephen for just tremendous work. I did not know all of his story. And I want to say to you, brother, you're an angel. You're a saint, man. Where have you been, man? So thank you so much. And I want to say thank you to Pat. Pat found me and asked me to come and be a part of this wonderful occasion and help coach and mentor some amazing storytellers, which you were here tonight. So here's my story. My story is about Abby. Abby was a super cute beagle mix who helped me get through trauma, divorce, homelessness. When I was shot twice, when I was run over by a drunk driver, she was there. She helped me get back to where I am now. And I rescued her on a Saturday from PetSmart. I know, I heard that, yeah, PetSmart. That means give donations in dog talk. Rescued her on a Saturday, and that day she rescued me. So she taught me that with all my education, what good is my master's degree if I can't be the master of me? And here I am. One day, while we were moving into our new apartment, there she was, the neighbor. One hand on her walker and the other holding a leash attached to one of those little weenie dogs. And I could tell by the way that cigarette hung from her lips and that big, bold red hat that this was not gonna go well. She was always judging me, watching me, judging me. Those beady blue eyes followed my every move. We couldn't stand each other. Well, we may have had our differences, but our pets could care less about politics. Every day, my dog sat anxiously waiting for a little friend. And when she spotted, the barking began. Then what was once a battleground became common ground for my neighbor and I. And as we enjoyed the energy of two animals bonding, we started talking, about life, hopes, and dreams, casual COVID conversations. Hi, my name is Brenda, and this is Cassie. My name is Mike, and this is Abby. We did this every day, and our friendship grew. One day, she came to me and said, Mike, please pray for my mom. Her name is Jean. Well, Brenda's mom passed shortly after that. My heart went out to her. Still, our daily routine continued. And whenever I ran out of those doggy poo pickup bags, Brenda shared. And when she sees someone that we didn't know, I was right there. We decided that our pet's friendship and ours was way more important than politics. God is a genius the way he brings people together at a time when they need each other the most. At first I thought, uh-oh, not another one of those Karens. But it turned out deep down inside, she was just so caring. And this is why I love my neighbor. Thank you.
Amazing, Michael. I would like to introduce Amy Stoll, who will be giving our first award tonight and sharing her story. Amy.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Stephen. Hi, I'm Amy, and I'm honored to introduce you to the Dogs Matter Community Partner of the Year, Jet Pets. Terry and Jason are my personal heroes, and to explain why, I need to share how I began my journey with Dogs Matter. So most people find Dogs Matter because they need someone to watch their dog while they go to rehab. However, my story is just a little different. In 2021, my life was unraveling. COVID was still everywhere. I lost my job in June of that year. My beloved first and forever dog, Riley, passed away in August. And then in October of that year, my dad lost his years-long battle with cancer. Sounds like a country song, but I was heartbroken, depressed, and painfully lonely. Just days before my dad passed, I had seen Stephen on the Kelly Clarkson Show as the rad human, talking about Dogs Matter, and I signed up to foster before that episode even ended. I missed my dog Riley very deeply, and I craved the love of a dog at home. And in my mind then, as an added bonus, I could help those poor people who had to go to rehab. Little did I know I was one of them. Right after my dad's memorial, I got my first foster lady, who I actually still get to see today because Stephen ended up adopting her. Then came Rosie, a sweet, goofy coonhound. And I got to witness my first reunion with that wonderful dog. And it was one of the most bittersweet and joyful experiences of my life. And then came Al Capone. He was a 75-pound old man American bulldog who would eventually change my life. And he is the reason that I'm actually up here presenting this award. Capone stayed with me for 6 months, and his dad was trying to stay sober, but ended up having to make the heartbreaking decision to put him up for adoption. I, at the time, couldn't imagine making that call. And I ended up adopting Capone myself. Little did I know that 2 years later, I would be making that same call about Capone. On June 9th of 2023, I came home from work, poured myself my usual drink, and sat down with Capone. The next day, I couldn't walk. On June 11th, 2023, I called 911. At the hospital, I was diagnosed with alcoholic neuropathy. I had somehow put my head in the sand long enough to drink my legs away. That's when I finally had to admit I was an alcoholic and I needed help. It was actually 2 years ago today that my sister called Terry at Jet Pets to care for Capone while I figured out my next moves. I then had to call Stephen in tears and say this time, I'm the alcoholic. And just like that, I became the client. I spent 40 days in the hospital and 40 more in rehab, all in a wheelchair, learning how to walk again, well, learning how to do life again. Jet Pets took care of Capone for free, and actually they sent me pictures every day while I was in the hospital and while I was in rehab. It gave me so much hope. When it became clear that I had a longer road ahead of me than I anticipated, Terry from Jet Pets adopted Capone herself. She and I kept in touch, and she kept those pictures and updates coming. He was still my big meatball. After rehab, I moved into sober living and was planning to visit Capone that week when I got Terry's call. Capone had had a massive seizure and passed away. I was crushed, and Terry was too. Our old man was gone, and we still miss him every day. But in that grief, I found a purpose. I began volunteering for Dogs Matter. I called Stephen and basically said, I will do whatever you want me to do. I did accounting, answered foster inquiries, basically anything that I could do. And at that time, it was still from a wheelchair, so I couldn't foster. Because I was in sober living, not because I was in a wheelchair. People in wheelchairs can foster. Today, I am honored to be now. I have abandoned my previous career, and I'm honored to be on staff full-time as the lead recovery coach for Dogs Matter. And I'm so blessed that I get to combine my lifelong love of dogs with my newfound passion for helping others in recovery. Thanks to God, I've done a complete 180. I am no longer numbing my life. I'm actually living it. I'm 2 years sober as of yesterday. And Dogs Matter has been by my side every step of the way. Capone was with me at my rock bottom, but he also gave me a reason to rise. His legacy lives on in this incredible partnership with Jet Pets, who continue to step up at a moment's notice to help people like me so we can get help knowing that our dogs are safe and loved. So Terry and Jason, thank you from the bottom of my heart. It is my honor to know you and now to present you with this year's Dogs Matter Community Partner Award. So, there we go. There's Jason.
Amazing. I have to stop listening so I can keep it together. Our Fostering Recovery Award. Part of the journey to sobriety is giving back, reaching out a hand to help another person find their way. Our next award honors someone in recovery who goes above and beyond to ensure that the beloved pet of a fellow addict is safe, cared for, and loved during treatment. This person understands firsthand the courage it takes to enter recovery and to start a new life. And with that understanding, she opens her home and her heart to help others do the same. We are proud to recognize Amy Martin tonight. Amy has poured her heart and soul into every dog she has fostered for Dogs Matter, and her compassion has made a lasting impact on both pets and people alike. So please join Stephen, all of us, in welcoming to the stage and share her story and receive the Fostering Recovery Award, Amy Martin and her very cute puppy.
Hello, my name's Amy. I am an alcoholic. I do that at almost every event that I go to. That's just how I know myself now. I have 2 grown independent sons. I have 2 failed marriages. I have an accomplished career, which I just recently decided to change. And currently I have a total of 5 dogs living in my home. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my background in the drinking world. It began as most drinkers do, alcoholics. Started off with work happy hours. They were a regular ritual. And then occasional weekends became every weekend. And then I added Thursdays to start a little earlier. And then I had to add the Mondays because that had to make me feel better. Eventually it escalated to all day, every day drinking. Somehow I retained my job, so that was a miracle in itself. And then I had a 10-day visit to the hospital ICU, which finally forced me to confront my addiction. I begged and I bartered to see my dogs. For them to be snuck into the hospital, I needed their unconditional love. The unexpected death of my father, his final words were not asking, not praying, not being kind about it, were, you need to stop drinking. And he died the next day, and that definitely served as a wake-up call. Detox, many medical procedures, IOP and AA meetings marked the beginning of my long road to recovery. The AA community gave me the support I needed. I didn't know at the time that in AA, being of service was meant to be of service to other alcoholics. Instead, I was of service to dogs because that's how I wanted to spend my time. So I started fostering and volunteering at the local shelter. I was actually getting a friend of mine a new dog. I was introducing them when I happened to talk to a stranger. I had no idea who she was. She was from a different rescue group, and she just mentioned Dogs Matter and what they do. And I said, immediately, I want to be a part of that. That is my purpose. And so, like, I don't know, the following weekend, they had some kind of event going on. I met Stephen, I met Amy, she was standing already, it was fabulous. I signed up to be a foster, and I have had, I don't even know how many fosters I've had, but it's been an interesting ride. I didn't, volunteering and fostering dogs gave me a purpose. They gave me a reason to stay sober, and they gave me a reason to get out of bed every morning. In addition to fostering the dogs, I wanted to also help other addicts who would have to choose between surrendering their pets and their ability to go to recovery centers when they were ready to surrender. Fostering dogs through Dogs Matter became my unexpected salvation. Through this, I found new friends with the same passions and my own path to healing. It fulfilled my need to help others marred by addiction. And it helped people keep their best, and sometimes, usually, at this point, their best friend. their only best friend. The reunions are joyous, although bittersweet for me. I grow a little attached. The failures are absolutely devastating, but the unwavering support of my AA fellowship and my Dogs Matter and Dallas Pets Alive community provide a foundation for my continuing recovery journey. The companionship of dogs and the fellowship of others in recovery help me navigate the complexities of sobriety. My dogs, my purpose, and my AA fellowship have become the cornerstone of my present and my future. And that is why dogs matter. So thank you.
Tonight, we are so honored to shine a light on the heart and soul of Dogs Matter, our incredible clients. These are individuals who once stood at the edge of hopelessness, struggling to hold on, not just to sobriety, but the one constant source of love in their lives, their dog. This evening, you'll get to meet some of these brave souls. You'll hear about their dogs, their recovery, and their remarkable journeys from surviving to truly, truly living. Let's get started. Chaz. Chaz and Pork Chop. Chaz reached out to Dogs Matter during one of the darkest times in his life in 2018. He was living on the streets, deep in addiction, and desperate for change. But he had nowhere for his beloved dog, Pork Chop, to go. While Pork Chop was temporarily placed at the kennel at the bridge, Chaz made the courageous decision to enter long-term treatment at Souls Harbor. And that's when Dogs Matter stepped in. Stephen took in Pork Chop, who was energetic and strong, but beneath it all was an incredibly sweet and incredibly loving soul. He quickly bonded with Stephen and Jade, finding comfort and stability while Chaz focused on his recovery. Chaz completed his 6-month program and was joyfully reunited with Pork Chop. Through it all, he credits his journey and growth in sobriety to the unconditional love and companionship he shared with Pork Chop. Though Pork Chop passed away last year, his impact lives on. Chaz continues to live a life of sobriety, saying he does it for Pork Chop, his best friend and his guiding light. We are proud and deeply honored to celebrate Pork Chop's memory in Chaz's incredible journey tonight. Next up is John and Sebastian. I can't look at the pictures. A story of redemption, resilience, and love. John's life had taken a heartbreaking turn. He was living in a hotel, he was struggling with opioid addiction, and dangerously close to losing everything, including his life. After a life-saving intervention by his friends, John agreed to enter treatment, but only if his beloved dog Sebastian had somewhere safe to go. That's when Dogs Matter stepped in. They picked up Sebastian from the hotel, and John immediately entered treatment. From that moment on, he has never looked back, and he's been sober ever since. John's journey did not stop with recovery. He chose to give back, fostering for Dogs Matter and even adopting one of their dogs, Lola, staying actively connected to our mission and the community. Sebastian's journey was equally inspiring. Years later, he faced his own health crisis, and with support from Dallas Pets Alive PASS program, he received the surgery that he needed. Today, Sebastian is a happy, healthy boy, still full of life and still full of love. John is thriving, and he and his dog Sebastian and Lola are now living their best life. A beautiful testament to the power of second chances and the unbreakable bond between a person and their doggo. We're honored to celebrate John and Sebastian tonight. Haley and Daisy. When Haley made the brave decision to change her life, there was one thing holding her back. She had nowhere for her beloved dog, Daisy. When Dogs Matter stepped in, we should all say it together. Daisy was an absolute joy to foster, and Haley was filled with gratitude when they were reunited after treatment. She made a promise then, one day she would give back, and she kept that promise. 3 years later, Haley reached out, this time not as a client, but as a partner. After starting as a kennel tech, she worked hard on her career and became a general manager at City Dog Club. Haley reached out to Stephen to offer her help she had once promised. City Dog Club would provide boarding and other services for our dogs free of charge, meeting one of the greatest needs and providing crucial care and love while they find temporary foster homes. Haley's transformation is inspiring. She's gone from needing support to providing support, helping save lives just as hers was once changed. We couldn't be prouder to honor her journey and to celebrate Daisy, who helped her lead her there. Yay. Britton and Zuzu. Oh, God. After years of substance abuse, Britton found himself homeless, alone, and heartbroken, unable to care for his beloved dog, Zuzu. Out of options, he made the painful decision to surrender her to a shelter. But the day before, a friend told him about Dogs Matter. Within 48 hours, Zuzu was safe in a loving foster home, and Britton was headed to treatment. It was the beginning of a new chapter. Though Britton relapsed after choosing not to enter sober living, he did not give up. Because he was part of Dogs Matter aftercare program, he reached out for help. Together with Stephen, they decided on 6 months of intensive treatment and sober living through their partners at Greenhouse. During that time, Zuzu became a beacon of hope at the Bark Dorm program, an innovative rehabilitation project for high-risk youth preparing to leave the justice system and begin their own second chance. It's amazing. Zuzu showed these young people what it means to love unconditionally and how to care for and be responsible for another living being. She quickly became a favorite to all. Today, Britton is working full-time, living independently and sober living with Zuzu by his side, who might be here tonight. Next month, he celebrates 1 full year of sobriety. Britton says proudly, "Now I am the kind of owner and the kind of dad that Zuzu always deserved." Stephanie, Dice, and Yari. Stephanie had already come a long way in her recovery journey, living in sober living after a long battle with addiction that was fueled by the tragic loss of her nephew to gun violence. The trauma was just overwhelming. She knew she needed to stay in treatment to heal, but her 2 beloved dogs, Dice and Yari, were left behind in an unsafe environment, neglected and left outside. As a major blizzard approached, time was running out, and right before she was making plans to leave treatment and rescue her dogs, she found... Within hours, Stephen jumped in his car to rescue them, ensuring Dice and Yari were brought to safety just in time. Stephanie, heartbroken and humbled, made a promise to herself to get healthy and provide a loving home for her dogs. Since then, she has kept that promise. She completed treatment. She has a thriving career and her own home now for Dice and for Yari. With the help of Maisie's Mission and Dallas Pets Alive, Dice received 2 major surgeries and is now thriving alongside Yari in a loving and a safe home. Stephanie's story is one of perseverance, healing, and the power of keeping your word, not only to others, but to yourself. Dogs Matter is honored to celebrate her journey and the lives of Dice and Yari tonight. Jeffrey and Winston. As Jeffrey's world unraveled from his drinking, the one thing he hadn't lost was Winston, his loyal companion through it all. Since he was a puppy, Winston had been by Jeffrey's side. But Jeffrey knew that if he didn't get help, he would lose Winston as well. That fear and that love became his turning point. Jeffrey reached out to Dogs Matter, and Winston was quickly placed in a safe and loving foster home. Knowing Winston was cared for gave Jeffrey the freedom to focus on his recovery. After a year of hard work and commitment, Jeffrey reached a major milestone, 1 full year of sobriety, and was reunited with Winston. But starting over is not easy. As Jeffrey worked to rebuild his life, he struggled to provide for them both. That's when stepped in again, extending fostering support for Winston until Jeffrey could get fully back up on his feet. Today, they are together again, living in a supportive, sober living home where Winston rules the house, and Jeffrey's working full-time and providing for the one relationship that never gave up on him. Their story is a powerful reminder recovery is possible, and no one should ever have to choose between getting healthy and keeping the companion who stood by them through it all. Please join us in honoring Jeffrey and Winston. Noah and Nash. When Noah hit rock bottom with his addiction, he was facing eviction and struggling to care for his husky pup, Nash. The treatment center agreed to take them both until Nash's behavior became too much. With no one to care for him, Noah left treatment early and soon relapsed. That's when he found Dogs Matter. With help from his sister and the team at Dogs Matter, Nash was placed at Bark Dorm for training and care, giving Noah the space to focus on his recovery. Their reunion was emotional. Noah saw a calmer, happier dog, which eased the stress and allowed him to stay focused on his own healing. Daily walks to the dog park became a sacred part of Noah's recovery, helping him manage his PTSD, connect with others, and rediscover peace. Nash became not just a companion, but a lifeline. Noah says, "I probably would not be sober if it weren't for Nash." Thanks to the support of Dogs Matter, both man and dog are thriving and walking this road of recovery together. Let's hear it for Nash and Noah. If all the doggies, plan to get along, we'd like to bring all of the honor. I don't know if nobody else can see this. Steve is directing me. He's doing exactly what he did in college. 42 years later, telling me where to go, when to go back up on stage. Okay, I've got the script. I know what I'm doing. It's not my first job. Now it is time to honor our Client of the Year. All of Dogs Matter clients are brave and special the moment they make the decision to enter the program and trust Dogs Matter with the fur baby. But this year, one client showed extraordinary courage by sharing his story with the world on CNN. Egan McBride's journey is a powerful reminder of the overdose crisis we continue to face in this nation. Nearly 100,000 lives are lost to overdoses every year. Egan came dangerously close to becoming one of those statistics with his addiction to fentanyl. When he made the brave choice to seek treatment and change his life, one thing stood in the way: Remy, his pride and joy. More than a pet, Remy was a son to Egan. They had been together since Remy was just a few weeks old, and the thought of giving him up was soul-crushing. Then Egan found Dogs Matter. Within days, Remy was neutered, vetted, and placed in a loving foster home where he could begin his own transformation. There, he received structure, training, and the care he needed to truly thrive. Throughout Egan's 3-month treatment program, he stayed motivated, he stayed hopeful, receiving regular updates, photos, and videos showing Remy safe, happy, and loved. Egan completed his program, and today he's celebrating over 1 year of sobriety.
Wow, what an absolute honor it is to be here tonight. So many people, so much support. For as long as I can remember, addiction is something that has dug its claws into the ones around me. I grew up watching it destroy my parents' marriage, as well as cause my father to be in and out of jails and prisons my entire childhood, leaving me to feel abandoned and unloved as a result. As the years passed and I grew older, I found myself following the exact same footsteps down my own destructive path of despair, leading me to nothing but pain and desperation, destroying everything that my mother worked so tirelessly to prevent me from experiencing. I guess some lessons you just have to learn on your own. By the time that I graduated high school in 2014, I was completely aware and content of the fact that I was nothing more than an addict and thought that my life had nothing more to offer than being a drug dealer to provide for my habit. I prided myself on being able to take more substances than my peer of outcasts that I surrounded myself with. That lost in an empty feeling of oblivion that I faced whenever I was a child was soon replaced by a comforting feeling of oblivion that addiction offered. Throughout the 10 years that I've faced with my addiction, I've witnessed things that I hope nobody else has to ever experience. I was shot, spent over a year homeless. In 2014, I had my right foot amputated in a motorcycle accident. All of those were never enough to make me want to stop using. But whenever I had that motorcycle accident, it proved to me that there was something more out there in this world for me. I had a greater purpose. I just wasn't sure what that was. A couple of years ago, I adopted my dog Remy. One of my friends had the mom and dad of him, and I was there whenever he was born. And I went over there every day until I could take him home whenever he was 6 weeks old. And from that day on, we were completely inseparable. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to give Remy the best life that he deserved due to my addiction. Over the years, it progressed from heroin to fentanyl, and there was just no end in sight. The times that I didn't want to be alive anymore, I sat there and contemplated suicide, but then I saw Remy's face, and he made me realize that I have one more job to do. I have a purpose still, so he kept me going. But unfortunately, I didn't go to rehab a lot sooner. My probation officer actually sent me to rehab instead of sending me to prison. Gave me chance after chance. I was still hesitant to go, though, because I didn't want to lose my baby. So he told me about Dogs Matter. I put in my application, and within 24, 48 hours, Stephen reached back out to me, and he walked me through the process, comforted me, made me feel at ease about everything. It was an absolute blessing. Gave me the opportunity that I truly needed to become the man that I really want to be, the dad that Remy deserves, rebuilt family relationships that I thought I'd destroyed forever. I've got an amazing job now, recently met the love of my life, and we're getting married soon. I never thought that life could be so amazing. I never thought that I could be so truly, genuinely happy. I owe it all to Stephen. Life in recovery has been anything but easy. There's been lots of trials of adversity thrown my direction, but I'll be damned if I let it stop me from doing what I'm doing. You know, like he said, I just recently hit a year sober. And it's one of the greatest feelings. I know I've made a lot of people proud. I'm proud of myself. But my only hope in the future is to be able to give back to Dogs Matter the way that they've helped me. You know, once we get a house, I plan on being able to foster other dogs because I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for the people that fostered these dogs. You know, it's just truly an amazing organization, and I'm very grateful to be a part of it. Thank you.